What's up, guys? UFC Singapore, Holloway versus the Korean Zombie is this weekend, and I'm going to give you guys another prediction video where I break down the entire card. Let's get right into it. Starting off at featherweight, Sung Woo Choi versus Jarno Aarons. Sung Woo Choi is kind of very hit and miss as a fighter. He's on a 3-fight losing streak right now. He's 10-6. But Jarno Aarons just kind of sucks. Sung Woo Choi has lost 3 fights in a row, but they're two guys who are UFC level. Like Alex Caceres is good. He's fighting on this card later. Joshua Kulibao is really good, and he lost via split decision in a close fight. Michael Trezano, not the greatest fighter in the world, but they were dropping each other like crazy in that fight. He's knocked out Julian Erosa. He's beaten Yusuf Zalal. I think Sung Woo Choi, even though he is inconsistent, he operates at a level that is higher than Jarno Aarons. I think he can beat Jarno Aarons relatively easily. I'm gonna say Sung Woo Choi probably finishes him by TKO. I'm going to trust in Sung Woo Choi. Jumping up to women's flyweight, JJ Aldrich versus Liang Na. This one's pretty easy to predict because, you just look at the live odds, or not live odds, at the odds. JJ Aldrich is nearly a -600. She's just better everywhere. She has way more experience against way higher level competition. Liang Na's okay. But she's just kind of mid. I guess that's how I'd put it. She's not great at anything, really. And JJ Aldrich, you kind of need to be, like, decent to beat JJ Aldrich. And I don't think Liang Na, I don't think she's operating on that level quite yet. She's young, though. She's got a lot of time to improve. But I don't think she's getting this one over JJ Aldrich. I think JJ Aldrich probably just wins a decision. Pretty easy. Probably just dominates the whole fight. Moving up to welterweight, Billy Golf versus Yusaka Kinoshita. Some of these names are going to be a struggle. A lot of these guys fighting on this card are from the road to UFC. So there's not a lot to go off of for a lot of these guys who are fighting as far as like tape goes. And some of their opponents as well. There's really not a lot on them. This is kind of one of those fights. They're almost evens. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and shit taking Billy Goff over Yusaku Kinoshita. Billy Goff is an underdog. He's a +115 dog. But I think I'm actually going to go with Yusaku Kinoshita for the simple reason that I don't think Billy Goff's style works very well into Kinoshita's. He's kind of a very pressure-heavy fighter on the feet. He likes to kind of run in kind of with reckless abandon and out-volume guys to get his TKOs. I feel like if he does that early, I feel like there's a real high chance he walks into something from Yusaku Kinoshita. And he's kind of a finisher. Kinoshita's got pretty good power. His striking's pretty clean. He did lose to Adam Fugit. And Adam Fuget's not exactly the greatest fighter of all time in the UFC, but he's not terrible. Like, he's not a complete bum. I can see Billy Goff walking in and getting chinned because he leaves himself opened a little bit too much for my liking, but he is good. That's why this fight is evens. Both of these guys are pretty equal, but I'm going to give the edge to Kinoshita just slightly. I think he's going to get this one done by TKO, probably early. I can just see Billy Goff running into a straight shot from Kinoshita and getting hurt by that pretty bad. And I think Kinoshita has the wherewithal to get that finish if he does hurt Billy Goff. But it is a close fight. Going up to welterweight, we have Song Kanan versus Rolando Bedoya. I feel like this one's pretty easy. Rolando Bedoya looked really, really good against Chaos Williams. As somebody who had money on Chaos Williams, I honestly thought he fucking lost that fight. I thought Bedoya won that one pretty easily by decision. He looked really good. He didn't really take any shots clean from Chaos Williams, and he pretty much just outstruck him the entire time, honestly. Song Kanan, he's kind of like Chaos Williams in that he's just a guy who likes to strike with really big power in his hands. I think Kanan's actually a little bit, his technique when it comes to striking is actually a little bit better than Chaos Williams. He's a little bit tighter. Chaos kind of just windmills punches. Kanan's a little bit more, you know, technique based when he's throwing his strikes. But, you know, Kanan's been in so many fights. He took a beating 5 months ago from Ian Gary. 5 months ago? 5 months ago. He did drop Ian Gary, though. That's the one thing Bedoya does have to watch out for with Song Kanan, is that he does have power. He hits very fucking hard. But watching Bedoya's strike defense against Chaos Williams, I just really don't think Song Kanan's going to be able to find the mark to put this guy out. I just think he's younger. I think he's just better, man. I think he's probably gonna get a finish in this fight, because Song Kanan's been in a lot of wars. He's been in a lot of hard fights. I think Bedoya is actually going to get a finish. I think he's going to get like a late TKO in like round 3. Going up to middleweight, we have Chidi Njokuani versus Miguel Oleksiejczuk. This is a good fight. I like this fight a lot, and it's kind of hard to predict for me, because both these guys are just good stand-up fighters. Miguel Oleksiejczuk, I would give the grappling advantage to, but he doesn't like to grapple, so I think this is just going to be probably just a stand-up contest, honestly. And in a stand-up contest, it's like, who do you favor? Miguel has a lot of pressure. He's a very forward-heavy fighter. He walks forward, he crashes into people with a lot of volume, and he's got good power too. But Chidi has really good kickboxing. He's got a lot of height on Oleksiejczuk. He's got a lot of reach on Oleksiejczuk, and I think that the style of fight that it's going to be, or I think it's going to be, favors Chidi as opposed to Oleksiejczuk. I think in a kickboxing fight, I think Chidi Njokuani can win this fight. However, if Oleksiejczuk decides to grapple, then I think he would win. But I don't think he's going to grapple. I think he's just going to stand and fight him on the feet. So I'm gonna pick Chidi Njokuani, but there is a caveat. If Oleksiejczuk decides to grapple, it's going to be a lot harder. But I don't think he's going to. Chidi Njokuani, round 2 TKO is my pick. Yoshiomi Kazama versus Garrett Armfield. Both of these guys are not great. Toshiomi Kazama just lost to Rinya Nakamura. But, you know, that'll happen. Garrett Armfield, he's good-ish. This is a weird one because there's just not a lot on both of these guys. Both of these guys haven't really fought or beaten good competition. You know, and the time both of these guys have faced decent competition, they have lost. Like, Garrett Armfield made his debut against David Onama, got smoked. Kazama made his UFC debut technically against Rinya Nakamura, and he got blown up. So it's just like, who do you go here? I think I'm gonna lean towards Garrett Armfield, because Kazama has been finished twice by TKO in his 3 losses. And Garrett Armfield, he's kind of a finisher, honestly. He's got 1 decision out of his 8 wins. I think he can win this fight. I think he can get it done by TKO, mostly because Kazama's striking defense is not great. He doesn't seem to really be comfortable on the feet. He's more of a grappling fighter, but I trust in Garrett Armfield to be able to defend the shots from more of a jiu-jitsu based guy. Kazama's not exactly a wrestler. He's more of a jiu-jitsu base. So I think Garrett Armfield can defend the takedowns from him. And I think he can actually find a finish on Toshiomi Kazama kind of early in this fight. I think he can probably win this fight by early TKO. Closing out the prelims, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Lucas Bresky. Now, this is another interesting fight. I feel like this fight, odds wise, is a lot closer than, Acosta being minus 260. Both of these guys are huge. They have the exact same reach, and both of these guys like to strike. Now, Lucas Bresky looked really good against Martin Boudet when they first fought. Even though he lost, it was kind of a screwy decision. He probably should have won. And Acosta really hasn't impressed me that much with his fights. Although he did impress me surviving against Rodrigo de Lima, because he got leg kicked so many times in that fight, and that's a big weakness for Waldo, is he doesn't have very good leg kick defense. But Lucas Bresky, he doesn't even really throw leg kicks. Um, I think I'm gonna lean towards Waldo Acosta, probably winning this fight by a decision, because I just think he's got more power. I think his strikes come out faster. And if these guys are both trading shots, I think the ones that are going to mark up somebody's face, the ones that are going to get a bigger reaction, are going to be coming from Waldo Acosta. I think he's going to land the bigger shots. I think they're probably going to land on each other relatively evenly, but I think Waldo throws faster, harder. I think he's going to mark up Bresky's face. I think he's going to edge out a decision over Lucas Bresky. Moving up to heavyweights, Junior Tava, Parker Porter. Uh, I've thought about this fight a little bit. I was actually thinking about taking Parker Porter because I kind of expect him to try and wrestle this fight. And Junior Tafa looked terrible in the grappling defense against Muhammad Usman. But then I remembered Muhammad Usman's on a bunch of fucking steroids. And Parker Porter's built like a bag of soy milk. So I think I'm going to go with Junior Tafa. I just think he's gonna chin Parker Porter, man. Parker Porter's stand-up is not good. He's already been knocked out by the other Tafa brother. And Junior Tafa's got really good stand-up, man. You saw it against Muhammad Usman. He hurt him bad, and he hurt him often when he landed. And he's so much younger. I mean, Parker Porter's fucking 38. Junior Tafa's 26. And he's the bigger guy, too. He's way bigger. He's way younger. His striking is way better. I think he can defend the takedowns from Parker Porter if he shoots. It's not like Parker Porter's like an NCAA champion or something like that. And he's not on a bunch of steroids. So I think Junior Tafa will probably get this one done by TKO. Going up to women's flyweight, Erin Blanchfield and Talia Santos. This is a fucking good fight, huh? For just like a random slot on the main card. Uh, Erin Blanchfield, Talia Santos. I'm gonna go with Erin Blanchfield slightly. I just think I rate her finish over Jessica Andrade, just smoking her so highly. Talia Santos is very fucking good though. The odds are about even. It's just kind of, do you favor the offensive grappling of Blanchfield or kind of the defensive grappling of Santos? I feel like on the feet they're relatively even. I think I would give the edge to Blanchfield. I think she's a little bit cleaner on the feet than Santos. I think she'll land with more regularity. And I think I'd give Erin Blanchfield the grappling edge too, barring she doesn't get caught in like a submission. I think she'll win this fight pretty decently. I think I'm going to go with Erin Blanchfield by like a decision, like a 29-28 decision. I think Talia Santos is good enough to pick up a round early over Erin Blanchfield, but I feel like she can come alive in the second two rounds and win those two and win a decision. Jumping up to bantamweight, Rinya Nakamura versus Fernie Garcia. Rinya Nakamura. A bet I like on this fight is the under 0.5, because Rinya Nakamura is going to go out there and he is going to blow up Fernie Garcia. Nakamura is fucking scary, bro. This guy's actually like really good. And Fernie Garcia is not great, man. Yeah. He's a monster wrestler. He's got KO power. He's got good striking, and he is aggressive as fuck. This is a bad matchup for Fernie, bro. Yeah, Rinya Nakamura, first round TKO. That's my pick. Going up to featherweight, Giga Chikadze versus Alex Caceres. Another banger. Now, this fight, I think, I think the odds need to be much closer than they are. When is the last time Giga Chikadze fought? Against Calvin Kattar, like fucking 2 years ago at least. And he's a minus 230 over Alex Caceres, who's been, he's not the greatest fighter of all time, but he's been streaking and he's been looking better. Each fight he's been looking good. He had a war with Daniel Pineda, beat him badly. It was a fucking nasty fight. Alex Caceres hit that beautiful head kick on Julian Erosa. I think I'm gonna take the dog in Alex Caceres. I haven't seen Giga Chikadze in so long, and he took such a nasty fucking beating from Calvin Kattar. I don't know what Giga's showing up. I have no idea. He could be the greatest fighter of all time, or he can look slow and old, and he can look mid. And at minus 230, I kind of got to be confident that you're going to look good if I'm going to play that minus 230. I'm confident Alex Caceres is going to go out there and look good at plus 190. You know what I mean? Also, a caveat with this fight. Alex Caceres most certainly has the grappling edge in this fight. So if these guys are like fence fighting at some point, and Alex Caceres gets the chance to throw in a hook and jump on the back of Giga Chikadze, that's problems, because Alex Caceres has a nasty rear naked choke. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He can take a guy down if he needs to, and I think he can find an opportunity to get something wild in on Giga Chikadze, whether it's one of those wacky head kicks he landed on Julian Erosa, or he can snatch up a choke very easily. I like the finishing potential of Alex Caceres in this fight, whereas Giga, I don't know. Like, it's just been so long since I've seen the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to go with Alex Caceres. Probably by submission. Submission, I think. I think that's his easiest path to victory, is to grapple with Giga Chikadze and submit him. Moving up to the co-main event, Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. Now, the first time these guys fought, Anthony Smith absolutely bitched Ryan Spann. However, I just get the vibes that Ryan Spann is going to chin Anthony Smith. Like, Anthony Smith looked like such dog shit against Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker's good sometimes. I don't know. Anthony Smith has just been looking like ass lately. I think he's hit the end of his prime. I really do. I just think Ryan Spann, he's been looking better despite his loss to Nikita Krylov. He's just been looking sharper. I think he actually has been making improvements to his game, especially since the first time he fought Anthony Smith. I think Ryan Spann is going to get a finish over Anthony Smith. I think he's going to catch him early. I think Ryan Spann's going to win this fight by TKO. I really, really do. However, Anthony Smith is still, at a decent level. He can still operate at a high level, and he could win this fight. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Ryan Spann. And it looks like the odds makers are also doing that. They have Ryan Spann as a slight favorite at minus 130. I like that. I think he wins by TKO. Moving up to the main event, Max Holloway, Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. Max Holloway wins. As a big Korean Zombie fan, not the fight you want to see. Not what you are looking forward to seeing at 4 in the morning start time for me. 4 a.m. I'm going to be waking up at 4 a.m. for this card, just so I can watch one of my favorite fighters get beaten half to death before breakfast. Let's go, guys. Yeah, man, it's just such a hard fight for the Zombie, bro. Like, he's just gonna walk forward and get teed off on, man. It's gonna be like Calvin Kattar, almost definitely. I think the Zombie has better grappling than Max Holloway. I think he's probably going to be more inclined to grapple than a guy like Calvin Kattar, because their styles are very similar. They would just walk straight forward and try and box your fucking head off. Except Kattar's a lot faster than the Zombie. I just think Holloway is just gonna just destroy him. I hate to say it. Probably like a late TKO, kind of like the Alexander Volkanovski fight. I think it's probably just gonna get stopped. I don't think Max is gonna put the Zombie out cold. I just think it's gonna be one of those scenarios where he's taking so many shots and he's just kind of standing there, and the ref is just like, okay, bro, I've seen enough. Could the Zombie beat Max Holloway? Maybe. I mean, people were delusional enough to think Arnold Allen, of all people, was going to crack Max Holloway's chin. I saw that on Twitter when he was fighting Arnold Allen all the time. People were like, oh my god, Arnold Allen's going to crack his chin. Arnold Allen hasn't knocked anybody out. He's knocked out one guy in the UFC. You know what I mean? And they were stressed about him cracking Max Holloway's chin. That was insane to me. If there is a guy who possesses the power to give Max Holloway's chin a good test, it is the Korean Zombie. It's just, I don't think he's gonna land anything too clean. Man, he's 36. He's 36. Yeah, Max Holloway, probably like round 4 or 5 TKO is my prediction for this main event. I'd love to see the Zombie win, man, but it's probably not gonna happen. Let's be real. But yeah, that's the card. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope we sweep. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.